Hello and welcome to Here Tutoring. In this video, we're going to go over the answers for numbers 1 through 10 of the 2013 to 2014 Preparing for the ACT Reading Test, which are all of the questions for the prose fiction passage. We'll also talk through the best way to approach and think about each question. Make sure you have the reading practice test and questions in front of you, since we can't reproduce them for copyright reasons. You can find a link to this free practice test below. So first, before we start going through the questions, let's talk about what the major theme or message or point of the passage was, just to orient ourselves for the questions. After reading the passage, I'd say that the major theme, message, or point of this prose fiction passage is basically that someone is thinking about how things change a lot over time, and the general tone of this passage is that things change in a negative way. Now, question number 1. The type of question is a main idea or overarching question that covers the entire passage. This is the kind of question where it really helps to have read the passage first, and if you read the passage correctly, you shouldn't need to look back at the passage and you should be able to answer it pretty quickly. For this question, we're looking for an answer choice that encompasses the entire passage, which we said was primarily about someone thinking about change. So, going through the answer choices, A is just about the train ride, which doesn't cover the entire passage. B isn't right because she already has moved away and is just revisiting her hometown. C isn't right because the passage doesn't even talk about any new home she has established. D sounds good because it's about the narrator reflecting on the past and present, which is exactly what we are looking for. So, we pick D. Question number 2. This is a not or except question, so it might be a good idea to skip this question to do at the end, since it might take a while to eliminate all of the wrong choices. But for this video, we're just going to go in order. Going through the answer choices, for F, we see references to dreams in lines 15 and 65, so we eliminate that. For G, we see references to reunion scenes in lines 11 and 23, so we eliminate that. For H, we don't see any reference to photographs in the passage, so we keep that as an option. For J, we see references to train trips in the first and last sections of the passage, so we eliminate that. So we pick C. Question number 3. This is a specific reference question. It's also a not or except question, but since we know where to look, we'll just do it now. For this question, we're going to use 2 fingers to help us keep track of what section we're looking at, and then we start going through the answer choices. For choice A, lines 7 through 8 list off several towns that she passes through, so we eliminate that. For choice B, the section mentions Chicago, but it doesn't say that it's where she's originally from, so we keep that as an option. For choice C, line 19 tells us she's traveling by train, so we eliminate that. And for choice D, lines 1 through 5 tell us that she's observant of the landscape, so we eliminate that. So we pick B. Question number 4. This is an inference question. For this question, we note that the narrator portrays her hometown changing negatively, so we're going to look for a choice that expresses this. Going through the answer choices, F is too positive and definitely not right. G is negative, so we keep that as an option. H is wrong because one major point of the passage is that her hometown has changed a lot. And J is wrong because the passage doesn't talk about the hometown being rebuilt at all. So we pick G. Question number 5. This is a not or except question, so it might be a good idea to skip this one for later when you're taking the test. Going through the choices, we see choice A in line 46 and a list of things the narrator remembers about the past, so we eliminate that. For choice B, we see fenced-in football field in lines 57 through 58, but this is about the present, not the past, so we've found our answer. We can come back later to try to eliminate the other 2 choices, but we'll move on for now to save time. Question number 6. This is a specific detail question. Hopefully we remember that the paragraph from lines 30 through 48 is about memories, and the paragraph from lines 49 through 60 is about the present, so we know to look in that second paragraph. And in this paragraph, we see that the new businesses in town are the 1-hour photo, the tanning salon, the pizza parlor, and the gambling casino. The only one of these that's a choice is F, the tanning salon, so we pick F. Question number 7. This is a specific reference question, so we first use our finger to find lines 83 through 84. We know that the purpose of the cosmonaut needs to relate to the overall main point of the passage, which is about how change can be negative, so we look for a choice that relates to this. Choices A, B, and D are too specific to the cosmonaut and don't have anything to do with the main point of the passage, which is that things can change a lot over time. Choice C talks about the world changing while the cosmonaut was in space, which is exactly what we're looking for, so we pick C. Question number 8. This is a specific detail question, and it's a pretty tricky one. For this question, we know that we want to look in the section where she gets off the train, which is the paragraph from lines 22 through 28. In this paragraph, the only mention of anyone else that we see is her dad in line 26, so it's the only real option that we have, even though the reference is kind of obscure. We also know that she is remembering the past with someone, So this someone needs to be someone pretty close to her, which eliminates J, a journalist. So we pick F, her father. Question number 9. This is a specific detail question. Again, hopefully remember that the paragraph about change to her hometown is the paragraph from lines 49 through 60, and hopefully remember that the narrator was saying at the end of this paragraph that all of these changes pale in comparison to what has sprung up at the edge of town, Las Vegas-style gambling. So we pick D. And finally, question number 10. This is a specific detail question. For this question, hopefully remember that the cosmonaut shows up in the last 2 paragraphs. So we skim these 2 paragraphs to find where it mentions his knees buckling, which we see in line 87. Then we look around this line above and below, and we see in line 88 to 89 that they said it was because he hadn't been able to exercise for such a long time, which is what choice H says. So we pick H. In the next video, we'll do this same thing for questions 11 through 20 of this ACT reading test, which is the social studies passage. Thanks for watching, and I will see you there.